our group is he's making it in his backyard and giving it away to people for free, and we don't have the ability to do that for a bunch of reasons, and we're charging $25 a bottle for 2.5 grams. I'm quite sure if people with cancer were eating our canoil as much as they were eating Rick's oil, we'd be finding the similar, if not much better results. In fact, you know, we could make the very same claims of curing cancer and stuff that Rick does, but unfortunately it doesn't cure everyone of cancer, and many people that try these things wait until it's far too late, and then they try it as like a last resort instead of the first thing to do to kill it. And so I've had many people you know, in real dire straits coming to me because they've learned that it's the cure. And so I'm very hesitant to say that it cures things, although it has. I've got a list of people that have essentially cured themselves of all sorts of stuff. People that are sometimes feeling guilty that they still have their card, but they don't have like 3 problems that they used to have 5 years ago when they came in. You know, so yeah, it's you know, something that you know, I think, you know, Rick's claims are quite true, but I think he could be doing better than he already even is if he just tweaked his process a little bit.
Would you say that THC is like, oh sorry.
Well,
No,
yeah, if you guys do hands, like I'm sure I could get bombarded with questions, so I'll remember, but you know, I'm gonna try to keep in order. I made her keep quiet. What's up?
I have heard from Dr. Hornby that if you use like a volcano under 7.5, you're not actually utilizing any of the THC. You're kind of starting to decarboxylize it, but not actually like melting any off and vaporizing it. And so I know that, like, you know, using vaporizers on low temperatures does produce kind of a psychedelic effect, but does it have any medicinal benefits, those terpenes and benzene and all those other things?
Thank you, because I've ignored probably the most underrated part of the cannabis plant, which is the essential oils and the terpenes and stuff. Like, you know, when there's these assortment of strains and stuff, we like to think, oh, we got the body stones and indicas and sativas over on this side, and you know, we'll suggest that it's due to the CBN and CBD count, right? Because CBN's a muscle, sorry, CBN is the headstone kind of, neurological, you know, yeah, get you high, painkiller. CBD is a muscle relaxant. So, you know, we kind of are in error at our club when we say that the CBD is the primary muscle relaxant in some ways, because it could be very much that the essential oils are primary and critical in terms of the medical benefits, which is why you can use, you know, cannabis that hasn't been decarboxylized, and as long as you get the essential oils out and haven't destroyed them. I think some processes destroy the essential oils, and as a result, certain medical benefits are sort of lost. Other ways of cooking it into an oil, for example, and eating it really you know, maximize the essential oils, and they've been so little studied that they barely have names, in part because there's so many different kinds of essential oils and terpenes and flavonoids that can appear in the cannabis plant. They're just having trouble coming up with a list of them, let alone knowing which one is the most predominant in, you know, the plants, or which one has the most critical medical benefits, these sorts of things, right? I've actually got a really interesting study of the chemical breakdown of the cannabis plant, and it's just, you know, they have a hard time, like I say, isolating CBD acid from CBD to do some kind of comparison, in part because, yeah, it's hard to know where to start. Okay.
Would you say that, well, what do you think? For medicinal purposes, like, would you say THC is better induced through the lungs or orally, or rub it on your skin with the oils kind of job?
Depends on what the medical use is, really. Most of the time I'd agree with that. However, if you've got extreme nausea, you're not getting nothing down orally, and the best thing you can do is probably take a bong hit. Yeah. You know, small one, but nevertheless. Smoking has an instant effect. Your stomach's a smooth muscle. It can't get into your bloodstream any faster than except injections, yeah. And so the you know, quickness of dealing with muscle relaxant and pain relief, and even psychologically, smoking a joint or something to that effect is not as good in some cases as eating. For most medical problems, eating a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the afternoon, a little bit at night would help avoid the sort of ebb and flow that people often get with their medical problems, where they have good days and bad days. It's not that it can be avoided, but often people won't take their medication when they're feeling well, and then all of a sudden the inflammation and pain will increase, and then they'll have to start taking their medications, but it will get worse than it should. Whereas if they're using a safe product that they're not going to get addicted to or have stomach problems from, or they can have a little bit each and every day, and it doesn't affect their health, and it doesn't get to a point where they got to have surgery or something.
Can I interject on that?
Yeah.
I was told that when you eat cannabis, it converts in your liver from delta-9 THC to hydroxy-11 THC.
That's right.
And that it's a super potent form of cannabis that just really like sucks into your cells really easily. Or I guess it's THC. It's one of the most potent metabolites of it.
I would, through my experience, undoubtedly suggest that eating it is by far better. So, any questions online? I forgot to ask.
Well, there's a statement. Mark, one sec, I'll find it before I start talking. Mark is free till justice signs off because he got bail.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mark's on bail.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just told to tell you.
Cool.
I also want to know if they can toke up in here, but I said no.
If they can talk up online?
No.
Oh, in the classroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not inside.
No, we like keeping our privileges of renting rooms, so we smoke outside. That's right. Yeah.
You one time brought up the fact that people have been known to have cannabinoid shortages.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea as to what diseases or problems that can cause, or is there any study on that?
That's a pretty big question in some ways, because there could be quite a few conditions that are in part due to problems with people's cannabinoid systems, either in the development of them in the first place or in their ongoing maintenance. I used Alzheimer's as an example. If your brain's endocannabinoid system doesn't stay healthy and is kind of either overworked or underworked, the tendency to get Alzheimer's may be greater. There has been some science to suggest that the development of your endocannabinoid system can be altered by the early introduction of exocannabinoids, although
So like underage
under
use of it?
16. Yeah, that's why the federal Senate years ago said it should be legalized, but for people under the age of 16, they need to be warned that they could be causing themselves serious irreparable harm, because your brain is a very